Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 4 of this Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Platinum Trophy walkthrough. I now know that there are going to be 7 parts in total for this whole series, and at part 4 we're at the halfway point. So let's go ahead and pick up right where we left off. We're going to go into Mount Gulg. This is the fiery volcano, and we will now tackle the fire crystal. There are 37 treasure chests in total in this area alone, which is about 15% of all of the treasure chests in the whole game. When you go across the lava, you take 1 HP of damage for every step you take to every party member, so it's not that bad. Just keep in mind that your HP will be going down slowly as you go through this whole area. I got into a battle with the Ankheg here. We originally fought them outside of Crescent Lake, but they're pretty rare over there. But inside Mount Gulg, they're a little more common. So if you didn't get it outside of Crescent Lake, make sure you farm it around the entrance area to Mount Gulg, and you'll be able to pick these guys up, and we can proceed on from here. Okay, let's go up these stairs, and now we're going to go into the nearby door. Once you go up inside, just follow the path around until you get to the split, then go over, grab this treasure chest. It has some monsters inside of it. Just like in the Earth Cave, this place will have a bunch of elemental monsters guarding the treasure chests. These ones are the fire elementals. They're not very difficult though. We can just hit them with a couple physical attacks or the blizzard spell, and that will do lots of damage to them, and they'll be gone in just a moment. So we get a mithril helm from this chest. Now go down and to the left. As you work your way down, eventually you'll get down to this treasure chest, which is also guarded by a couple fire elementals. Let's get rid of these the same way. With that fight over, we get our reward of 1520 gil. Then head up and all the way to the left side of this area, then go all the way up and over to the right. Now when you go up, you have a choice between going left and right. Let's go to the left first, because that will allow us to loop around and grab a treasure chest at the bottom. I did encounter the Horned Devil in this area. It's pretty rare. I only encountered probably 2 or 3 packs of these the entire time that I did the Mount Gulg area. Just know that they do appear later on in the Citadel of Trials, and we will actually get to that in this same episode. It's just at the end of this episode. So be prepared that if you do not encounter these naturally as you go through Mount Gulg, you don't need to pull your hair out trying to farm these guys. We can get them a little bit more frequently at the Citadel of Trials later on in this episode. When you get to the end of this left-hand hallway, there's another treasure chest with some monsters in it. Just some more of those fire elementals, very easy to take out. So take them out and then we'll get our reward in the treasure chest. And inside we get a great sword. Now let's head back through this pathway, and we're going to go toward the right side of the split. And you can already see the treasure chest over there. Go down and grab that one. And now proceed up from here and then toward the left. There's a couple different pathways going down. Take either the second one or the one on the end, and that will take you to these 2 treasure chests here. The one on the right side contains yet another couple of the fire elemental monsters. Just take these guys out, and you should be pretty experienced at what it takes to kill these guys by now. Really just hit them with a blizzard and a couple auto attacks will be more than enough to take these guys down. Okay, now let's go down all the way to the bottom section here. Go around the path. There's a monster if you talk to him right here, and just a couple more fire elementals. This isn't a mandatory fight by any means, but these guys do give us some pretty good experience, so why not fight them since they're so easy and the reward is pretty good. Okay, up to level 26 now. We're over halfway to getting everyone to level 50. And there are a ton of treasure chests in the bottom part here. Go crazy and start looting them all. A couple of these boxes do have a lava worm monster in it, but these guys are pretty weak too. You can just hit them with some normal physical attacks for some decent damage, and they take some good damage from that blizzard spell as well. So the same tactics that you use against the fire elemental monsters, you can use against these lava worms as well. Okay, let's keep going. There's still more chests around here. All three in this little cubby all have monsters inside of them. So just be prepared that you'll get some back-to-back monsters if you start opening the chests in this order. Let's keep going around. We've got 3 more to open. Since we got a lot of items and equipment, we'll just take a moment to go through and optimize the equipment that we're holding and make sure that everyone is well equipped. Now head back up the way that we came, and what you're going to do is go off to the right side here, and that will take you down to another path that will lead you to a doorway. Go out the door. Here we encountered some Pyrolisks. These are a lot like the cockatrices in that they can kill you in one hit. Luckily they have very low HP, so we should be able to dispatch them quickly. Go out the door and all the way to the left side. You can skip that door, it doesn't go anywhere. Instead go down the stairs. Now on the basement level 3, head all the way over toward the right side. There's really nothing important in this room other than getting to the far right side and going down the stairs. Now on the 4th floor, let's head down, and we will just follow the pathways to avoid stepping in the lava as we get down to the bottom right corner for the stairs. Now back to the 3rd floor, we can start by heading down, and we encountered this Hellhound. They do show up with some other monsters too, but I got lucky and just got that one by itself. Now keep heading down and to the left side. We're basically just going to keep working our way south and west as we go through here all the way to the bottom row, and that will allow us to go all the way to the bottom left corner of this area for another set of stairs leading down. Now on this floor, go up into the door immediately in front of you. There are a couple treasure chests. The first chest on the right side has a lava worm in it. This is just like the other ones that we fought in the earlier treasure chests, so take this one out. And then go up, grab the other treasure chest for yet another monster. This one is different though, it's a fire lizard, so we needed to add that to the bestiary, and he is luckily very easy for us to defeat. Now let's head out of this room, and we're going to go over toward the left side. I did get the Field Research Advanced Trophy for getting 50% of all the bestiary entries, so you should get that while you're in Mount Gulg. Head down and into this room, you'll grab one treasure chest, and now go over to the left and up. There's going to be another room in the top left corner of this area that you can go into. Here's a Fire Gigas, very similar to the Hill Gigas that we fought in an earlier dungeon, and they're pretty easy to take out with just a couple attacks. Let's keep on going, and we'll go up into this door. There are 5 treasure chests in this room, so go crazy and loot them all. The top right box has a lava worm in it, just like the other ones, very easy to kill, so take it out very quickly, and then we can continue our looting spree. And the top box on the left also has a lava worm. We'll do the same thing, taking him out and getting our reward. Okay. Now at this point we're going to head down out of this room, and we're going to backtrack the way that we came to the last door that we went into. This time we're going to start heading south, and as we go down this pathway there's going to be another door here. Let's go into it. There's a monster blocking our path. It's just another lava worm, very easy to eliminate. It's more of a slight hurdle on our path than anything else. Okay, let's grab the other treasure chests in here. Luckily, they're not guarded individually. And then we'll go over toward the right side, continuing up and around until we get to another door that has 3 more treasure chests up inside of it. Okay, let's backtrack to the last door that we went into at the center of this T-shaped intersection. Now we'll head south and over toward the right. and that will loop us around to another door, go into that for 2 more treasure chests. The top one does have another fire lizard guarding it. Luckily, he's very easy to take out, especially if you equipped the Ice Brand sword. That was something that we looted in this area, and it does nice ice damage to these monsters, which are particularly weak against ice magic. So take these guys out. You can see big damage from that Ice Brand, and we can eliminate them in just 1 or 2 hits. Now let's head out of this room, keep going south until you can see the stairs, head down those. And this room just has a bunch of spokes coming out of the center hub. We'll go immediately to the left side and up into this room. You can go down, talk to this monster, just another fire lizard. Let's take this one out, it's very easy. Now when you go down toward the next box, this is a lot tougher monster inside of it, so make sure you're healed up into a quick save. Open up the treasure chest and you'll see that it's a red dragon. That Ice Brand sword and any of the blizzard spells will do a lot of damage to it, so go ahead and hit him with those things. He likes to use Blaze, which does some pretty decent damage against all of our characters at once, so be prepared that you might need to do some healing, but after a couple attacks, he will be gone. And we get a flame mail from that. Now let's head back up, and we're going to go back toward that center hub area where we came down the stairs. This time we're going to go up and to the right, going kind of diagonally toward the upper right corner. That will allow us to go all the way up to a new area. There's a door up here. Let's head on inside of that door. There's going to be a treasure chest up here, so go up and grab that. Now let's head back toward that center hub, but we're not going all the way down. Instead, we will head straight south through the lava and then over toward the right side. There's another door in it. Go through the door and then down until you can open up this treasure chest. Now go back out the door and to the lava river. Keep heading south until you get to the bottom area, and then go south at this intersection and you'll see another door. Go in that one and there is a treasure chest up in the top right corner. Now we're going to go back toward that lava river area, and we're going to go over toward the left. As we go left, you can skip the route that goes straight down. It's just kind of a dead end with an empty room, but we'll go to the bottom left corner, and when you go into the door down there, that's where the boss of this area is. So we have all 37 treasure chests at this point, and if we check on the bestiary, you'll see that we have everything so far that we need from this area. Inside the bestiary, you can scroll down to number 58. That is where you'll see Horned Devil. We can get that one a little bit later on if you couldn't find it here. Otherwise, 59 is Pyrolisk, 60 is Fire Elemental, 61 is Fire Hydra, 62 is Lava Worm, 63 is Hellhound, 64 is Fire Lizard, 65 is Fire Gigas, and 66 is Red Dragon. If you have all of those, then you've gotten every monster inside of Mount Gulg. Then we're just going to take a moment to make sure that all of our health is filled up and our MP is looking good. We'll do a quick save and then interact with the orb in front of us for the boss. So you are the ones who defeated the Fiend of Earth and roused Marilith from her slumber. The power of the burning flame is mine and mine alone. Those who would oppose me shall burn in hellfire. Here's the next boss. It is Marilith. Not a lot different from the Lich fight that we had earlier. The main weakness is going to be those blizzard spells. You can use your white mage just to keep everyone's health up, and we will just use those Blizzara spells to do some pretty good damage to Marilith. The Ice Brand will be a good weapon to do some good attacking, and we'll be able to just kind of go with physical attacks, a little bit of ice magic, and keeping our party healed up through this whole thing. And it's a pretty easy fight and should only take a couple minutes to get through. It took less than 2 minutes, but Marilith is down. Well, don't forget that if you like these videos and want to see more of them, hit that like button and also comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay up to date with this series and more to come. We get the Rekindled Flame trophy for defeating Marilith and restoring the light to the Fire Crystal. When you're ready, head behind the Fire Crystal and interact with the glowing red spot on the ground, and that will teleport you out of the dungeon. Well, we've tackled fire in this episode, and now let's go tackle ice. We're going to now get back in our canoe and go around back toward where the Lake Crescent area is. We'll just work our way through this river until we get all the way to the bottom part of it. Once you get to the bottom part, head over toward the right, and that will take you over to Lake Crescent. You can make landfall here, stop in and heal up if you need to, otherwise we're going to go back to our ship. If you just follow the forest around, that will take you over to where the ship is. It's the blue dot on your map. And once you get aboard there, let's head on out of the port, and then we will go north along the coastline until you see a little opening in the land here, and then go over to the left and you'll be able to go directly into your canoe. Start taking that over and then go up at the first intersection and stick toward the right side as you go. Go straight past this intersection and then head down, and then hug that left side as you go around, and that will take you all the way down and around to a new area, which will be the Cavern of Ice. So when you make landfall, head over. There's only one way you can go, and you can go inside. When you get inside, start going all the way over toward the right side, and when you get to the end, then you can start heading south. On the way there, we did encounter a new enemy. This is the Spectre. It is the green ghost in the back of this pack. It's a little bit stronger than the other ones, but still nothing that we really need to worry about. Hit him with that Diara or Diaga spell, and you can also use fire spells. This is like the opposite of what Mount Gulg was. Mount Gulg was all fiery monsters that were weak against ice. This is all ice monsters weak against fire, so those Fire Hydra spells are going to be very useful to you. Okay, let's head down from here and then around toward the left side. You're going to see a staircase, go down that. Now on the second floor, let's start heading south. I encountered a new monster called a Mind Flayer. Some people think that these are pretty rare in here. I actually encountered a few of them as we were going through, so I didn't have a problem, but other people really do. That's okay. Mind Flayers do show up in quite a few places later on in later dungeons, so if you don't find it in this one, that's okay. Let's keep heading all the way south, and when we get to the bottom, we'll go over toward the left side, and that will take us to yet another staircase that we can go down. Now there's only one way to go, so hop down the next stairs, and then we're going to go over toward the left side. The entire room is just a big letter C, so go all the way around here until you get to the doorway, then go up inside here. Be very careful not to step on the cracks in the ground. Instead, you'll want to walk around those cracks and to go over to the treasure chests. Here's a Dark Wizard. We can eliminate these guys fairly easily just with physical attacks or by using a little bit of magic, and they will be gone before you know it, and we can get the prize inside the treasure chest. Okay, one Fire Hydra was really all we needed to get rid of those guys. We get some very unimpressive clothes from there. Now let's go around to the other side. We can grab the next treasure chest, and that has a flame sword. That's actually pretty good for where we are. And we now have the Ice Gigas. It's just like the Fire Gigas or the Hill Gigas from before. I did equip that fire sword, and you can see it does very good damage against it. Okay, now once you're ready, step on one of those cracks in the floor, and that will allow you to fall down to the floor below you. There's a monster directly in front of you that you have to talk to and get in a fight with. Here we have a Ghast, a Wight, a Wraith, and a Spectre. So fight these guys all off, and they are all weak to that fire spell. If you want to use Fyra or Fyraga, it'll do good work, or also Diara. because they're all undead, it'll do lots of damage to them as well. So either one you want to do, you can eliminate the entire pack of monsters very quickly. This is quite an easy dungeon for us. We'll head down from the door and then over toward the left. Every step that you take on those ice spikes will do 1 HP of damage, just like when you were stepping on the lava in Mount Gulg. Past those ice spikes is a room with 2 treasure chests in it. The treasure chest on the right side is guarded by these white dragons. They're pretty weak to that fire as well, so hit them with that flame sword or any fire magic and they'll be gone really quickly. And now we'll open up both treasure chests up there, and now walking back around through those spikes, we'll now go down and then toward the right side. And now we want to go straight down until we get to the bottom portion here. Go all the way down and then toward the left. And once you go into this room, there's 6 treasure chests that you want to get. 4 of them are not guarded by any monsters, but the 2 on the right are. And it's the same group. It's 7 winter wolves. They can actually do a good amount of damage to you, especially if they team up on one of your party members. So make sure that you keep your health up. But we can also hit them with a fire spell and do tons of damage to them, and that's going to be the quickest way to eliminate this entire pack. Watch out for those ice storms, especially if you get multiple coming at you, because they're going to do about 30 damage each to every party member, and those can really start to stack up. And you can see that Butcher, the warrior, he kind of went into critical HP for a second, but we were able to raise him up from there. Okay, now we're going to get into yet another fight with the same 7 winter wolves. So the same precautions in place, the same tactics to eliminate them. Just do what you have to wipe these guys out of our way, and then we can continue on. Okay, we got the Veteran Treasure Hunter trophy at this point because we've gotten 50% of all of the treasure chests in the game. Now we're going to go down and around up to this intersection, and this time we're going to go over toward the right side. That will allow us to loop around here as well. At this point, I got into a fight with a Remoraz. This is a pretty rare monster. You might not be able to find it very easily. Again, this one does show up at a later point as well, so we can always get this one later on. It doesn't have to be here, but if you're a completionist and just want to check everything off, you may need to look around here for a while to get it. Okay, we'll go up the stairs and then immediately into the door in front of us. That will allow us to loop around and grab a treasure chest. If you go south, you'll see there's a chest in this little room there. All you have to do is head out the nearby door and then head south and into the door leading to that small room for 10,000 gil. Now we're going to go up and around toward the right side, and if you work your way around, you can see this door. Be very careful as you walk straight up because there's a very small crack in the ground and you don't want to fall down that yet. Instead, grab all 3 treasure chests and then step on it to go down. We have all 15 treasure chests at this point, so we know that we're in good shape. I will show you that we have all of the bestiary entries as well for this point. So we're going to scroll all the way down until you get to number 68 for White Dragon, 69 for Winter Wolf, 70 for Mind Flayer, 71 Ice Gigas, 72 Spectre, 73 Remoraz, and 74 Dark Wizard. If you have all of those, then you are all set. Let's step on that little crack, and that will allow us to fall down to the floor that has that little diamond that we couldn't get to before. So go over here and interact with the diamond. It is an evil eye fight. This guy is super weak. Just hit him once or twice, and he's going to be dead. You obtain a Levistone. Okay, the only way out is down, so step on any of the cracks, you'll fall down to the floor below, and this is the same monster that was blocking our path before. We'll just get into a fight, again use that Diara or anything Firaga or Fyra based. You'll do really good damage against them, and that fight will be over, and it's a decent way to get a good chunk of experience for a pretty easy fight. Okay, we're going to go back all the way that we came, so head down through the ice spikes over toward the right, and then keep going south until the bottom intersection, then go off to the right side again, and that will take you back to the stairs. From here, go up into the door, then over to the right and down, and now we're going to go all the way to the top right corner of this hallway. That's where there's another staircase leading out. So now we're outside. Let's head south and toward the left. We'll be able to get on our canoe and canoe our way around over toward the right side. And then we can start heading up, and we will go over toward the top portion here. Keep going right, and then finally when you get to the end, go south and just work your way through the southern part here. And then you'll go over to the right side. That will take you back to your ship. So hop aboard the ship. Now that we have a Levistone, we can get the airship. So what we want to do is head south. We'll just follow the coastline all the way around this continent. Ultimately, we are going to the very bottom portion of it. I'll show you right here. We want to go down to the bottom of this desert where there's an opening. Just go around the coastline and you can find a dock just to the northeast of this area. Once you dock here, let's follow this path around. Just hug that ocean coastline as we go down, and eventually you'll be able to hop on the canoe in the shallow water. That will take you down to the very bottom tip of this place. Walk up a couple steps and you'll get a quick cutscene. You obtain an airship. Well, now with the airship, we can really go anywhere we want to in the game. So let's hop aboard, and our first destination is we're going to go all the way toward the middle of the top part of the map. We're flying way to the top of that northern continent. Feel free to stop in any town if you need to heal or pick up any supplies. That's a good time to do that before we go into the next dungeon. But we're going to land on the far edge of this upper peninsula. And now we're going to walk along the path, collecting a few new bestiary entries along the way. The first is this Basilisk. You'll find these more in the wooded area around here, so feel free to walk around and get this guy as we proceed on. Now let's keep going around this area looking for some other monsters, and we do get into another fight with our next bestiary entry, which is a worm. Feel free to eliminate these guys however you want to. They're not very difficult. Again, they're doing 1 damage to our warrior. He seems to just be the master at tanking all of those physical attacks, but they might do a little bit more damage to your lesser armored characters. I'm going to show you that you can also get the Remoraz that was in the Cavern of Ice, but now we can get them outside here in this area as well. So if it was too rare for you inside that last dungeon, you can now get them in this area as well on the Overworld map. Okay, there are 2 more monsters that we want to add to the bestiary in this forest section, so let's walk around until we get into a fight with these guys. We already had the lesser tiger from before, but we're interested in the were-tigers as well as that saber-tooth. They are pretty weak monsters. Go ahead, hit them a couple times with your physical attacks and they will be out. So the only things we really needed new here were the Basilisk, the were-tiger, and the saber-tooth, and that Remoraz was just a bonus if we didn't get it earlier. So let's head over toward the northeast area. We're going to go around this body of water and around the mountain ranges, and then we'll start heading south from here through the forest area until we see this desert. This desert has many new bestiary entries for us, so let's start going around. Here we have a desert Beretta. These Beretta enemies are very difficult. They are built like tanks and they hit you like them. You can see they almost took out the Black Mage in 1 hit, and they don't take a whole lot of damage either, so it'll take a little while for you to chip away all of their health, and eventually they will go down. So that's one of the Beretta monsters. That was the Desert Beretta. Now if we walk around this area, we can encounter its cousin, which is known as just Beretta. And this one is more red in color than the other one, which was more yellow. Same rules apply. It's very strong against everything that we throw at it, and it also hits us incredibly hard. You know, look at how much damage it did to Butcher, who normally takes like 1 damage from our physical attacks, and it took over 130 in that one attack. So very difficult monsters, but once they're done, then we can keep walking around and we can find this pretty rare monster. It's the Tyrannosaur. Some people have a lot of trouble finding this guy. I actually found a couple of them out here, but there was another one that was a lot more difficult for me to find. So the Tyrannosaur isn't that difficult. You can just hit him with a couple physical attacks and he'll go down. He's not very threatening to us, and we can take him out with relative ease. With the Tyrannosaur out of the way, we're going to look for a different version of that same monster. Just like the Berettas had a color swap version, so does the Tyrannosaur, and it comes in the red Allosaurus. Just a couple of physical attacks, and this guy's out of our way as well. So very easy fight. Let's keep going around. We're not quite done with this area yet. This desert does have quite a few new Bestiary entries for us. The next one on our list is this Sandworm. We'll be able to fight this one off pretty easily as well. If you want to use a little bit of magic on him, that's totally acceptable. Otherwise, a few physical attacks, maybe even one if it's a critical, will be enough to take him down. Now, every tile on the desert has a different likelihood of giving you certain monsters. So where I was, I didn't encounter this wyvern at all. I had to go to a different area, the lower level, to get the wyvern. And this was the very difficult monster that I couldn't find for the longest time. Probably was recording for close to 30 minutes to get all of these monsters added to the bestiary. So once that's done, we will go ahead and check the bestiary, making sure that we have everything so far in this area. So if you scroll all the way down to number 76, that is where you can see Desert Beretta, 77 Sabertooth, 78 Wyvern, 79 Worm, 81 Beretta, 82 Basilisk, 83 Allosaurus, 84 Were-Tiger, 85 Sandworm, and 103 Tyrannosaur. If you have all of those, then we can proceed on toward the next dungeon. If you got pretty well beat up by some of those Berettas, make sure that you heal yourself up. Also, you can always go back to a different town to rest up or buy more supplies if you have to. Your airship is just a short ways away. Once you're ready, head west through the forest and then a little bit toward the southwest through this marshy area. Keep going southwest across this river, and then you will proceed south, and then you will see a new building down here. This is our destination. When you go inside, you'll see that this is the Citadel of Trials. Head straight up and talk to the old man. You came bearing the crown, I see. Your fortitude cannot be questioned, indeed not. Very well, I shall grant you the right to undergo the trials. Go now, sit upon the throne. Your courage will be put to the test. If true courage dwells within you, you will find proof of it here. Once you get control of your character again, go toward the top left corner, go into the room, and sit on the throne to be teleported to the next area. The biggest piece of advice I have for you in this area would be to look at these teleporters. When you step into them, you'll get teleported to a new part of the dungeon. You always want to go to the lower option if you have a choice between them. Some areas just have one teleporter, just go into those. But in this room, there are 2 of them. Go to the lower one to proceed on to the next part of this dungeon. Now go down and step into the single teleporter. Here there are 2 teleporters, so we will once again take the lower one. Here's a new monster for us. It is the Minotaur Zombie. As a zombie character, it is undead, so that Diara spell will do a lot of damage to it, as well as any fire-based magic. And these enemies shouldn't take too long to get rid of. Okay, let's go to the bottom teleporter. And now we will go down this pathway, and at the bottom you will see yet another teleporter. Step into that one, you don't have any other options. Now go toward the lower one, which is the one that's closer to you. Now you can go down and then straight across. That will take you to a door at the end of this hallway. Go into it and grab the treasure chest in the top. Here we have another monster. It's Medusa. As you might imagine, they are pretty good at turning your characters to stone, but if you kill them fast enough, they won't get much of an opportunity to do that, now will they? So the best defense is a great offense. Go up, open the treasure chest. It's only a potion, but go down, then left a little bit to go down this hallway. And here you see a couple more of the teleporters go into the bottom one that's just straight down the hallway from you. Now go up the nearby stairs and proceed north through the hallway until you get to the very end of it. There's going to be a room that you can go into. We did get ambushed by a couple monsters here. We have the mummies. These are from a long time ago, so you don't need that one. But the king mummy, the blue one, is a new monster for us. They are undead, so you can hit them with Diara or Fyra, and they will be dead in a hurry. Up and into the room, there's a monster blocking our path. Go ahead and talk to it. It is a nightmare. It looks like a very fanciful unicorn, something that my little girl would probably very much enjoy, but we have to kill them to proceed on with the game. So, sorry girl, we gotta kill these nice little unicorns. Okay, let's go up and open the treasure chest in the top right corner for a healing staff. Now go all the way left through the hallway. You'll see another 3 treasure chests in the top left corner. Go ahead and open all of those up. I don't really go into the menu to update my equipment that often just because it's a lot of editing, and I don't think you want to see me do this 100 times in one episode. But just make sure that every once in a while you optimize your equipment. So we now want to fight these monsters. They're pretty rare, the Rakshasa, and they are kind of annoying too. They like to use that fire spell to do a decent amount of damage to you, but they can also do some negative status effects, like put you into the darkness status, or they can try to do some other things that are just more annoying than anything. They take pretty good damage against magic, especially like fire magic, so go ahead and use that against them. Otherwise, we'll just take them out the old-fashioned way, and that shouldn't be too difficult for you, more annoying than really dangerous. If you have trouble finding these guys because they are pretty rare in this area, we will encounter them later on as well. So either get them here or save them to the Flying Fortress portion of the game. Okay, let's keep heading down south. You're going to see some more treasure chests in the bottom quadrant here. We'll open up these 4 treasure chests. The one on the far left has a new enemy for us, the clay golem. They have decent defenses, so you can throw some like ice magic their way. That'll be pretty good against them. The fire magic doesn't do a whole lot, but physical attacks, they do pretty decent damage too. So these guys shouldn't be too difficult for you to take out. Yeah, let's keep going down the line. Just open up all of these treasure chests. And then we're going to go over toward the right side. There's our last treasure chest sitting right here. Let's open it up, and we obtain a rat's tail. That is all 10 treasure chests for the Citadel of Trials. We did get into a fight with the Horn Devil. This is, something that I mentioned before while we were over in Mount Gulg. I said be prepared because we'll fight him again at the end of this episode. So here they are. If you didn't get them before, you can get them here as well. Okay, once you're ready, go ahead and make sure that you quick save and get ready to talk to this monster. That monster was a pair of dragon zombies. These guys aren't very different from the other dragons that we fought before, with the added benefit for us that they are undead, so they'll take extra damage from that Diara spell, they'll take good damage from Fire or Fyraka, so they're very easy to take out. It's just like a perfect mixture of a dragon creature plus a zombie, obviously by its name. And those two things mean that it's very weak toward the things that we can throw at it, and just a couple attacks and they will be down. I hit level 32 after that fight, just in case you want to keep up with me where I'm at. Now let's have a look at the bestiary. We got number 58 Horned Devil, that was a repeat from before, and also number 70 Mind Flayer, though he shows up later. Otherwise go to 86, that's Minotaur Zombie, 87 King Mummy, 88 Medusa, 89 Rakshasa that you can save for later, 90 Clay Golem, 91 Nightmare, and number 92 Dragon Zombie. If you have all of those, then you've gotten everything, and we can step onto the throne to be teleported back toward the entry area. From here, just leave the room and then head over to the right, go between the pillars and head straight south, and that will take you out of the building. Alright, that's going to do it for part 4. Thanks for coming along on the journey with me. In this episode, we handled fire, ice, and everything nice. And now that we have a rat's tail, we're able to go and get a nice upgrade for our characters at the beginning of the next part. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, have a good day.